Everybody, it's Nina Motivates. Hey, everybody, it is Dr. Nina Addison, aka Nina Motivates. And listen, today is a very special show. And so I'm going to get right into it. First, let me encourage you, let me welcome you, let me thank you for tuning in to the You Can Show. I'm going to have to get a song. I'm going to have a whole intro. This year, we're taking it higher. I have been doing this show for 6 whole months consistently, new shows every single week. And I'm so excited. I'm so blessed to all of my listeners that listen every single week. And those of you who are new, hey, thank you all for listening to the You Can Show. We are growing, we are building. And this is a show where you come for your weekly dose of faith, fuel, and fire. Okay. You are coming here to get what you need so that you can go and do more, do more, do more, do more. And I'm excited because I have a great show today, y'all. I have a great show, and we are in the second week of 2026. Last week, we had Dr. Stevie Aisha Mills that came in and talked about giving ourselves permission. It was all about giving yourself permission, right? And so God has given me something. And I want to share it with you today. I want to kind of do a soft introduction. And in the midst of it, y'all going to get a little coaching. You're going to get a little history. You're going to get some invites. You're going to get some announcements, all of the things. So grab your favorite drink, whether it's water, juice, or I ain't gonna say soda because I'm encouraging us to be a little bit healthier, okay? I'm gonna say water or your freshly squeezed juice. And grab a seat, grab pen and paper. You may hear something and share this out. If you're listening to this live on ICU Radio 97.3, thank you for tuning in. And if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you for tuning it in. Whatever the case may be, share this out because we all know that sharing is caring. And we got some folks that we care about. And today, we're going to talk about what I call break it. Let me get right into it. If y'all hear me moving stuff around, it's because I got so many different notes and so many different things because I do not want to miss a beat. Okay. I don't want to miss a beat. Yeah, I be forgetting to get my microphone, y'all. I don't want to miss a beat with y'all. I want to make sure I give you all of the tips, tricks, and tools that God gave me to give you today. So let's go back in time. When I decided I wanted something different in life, I had to go through a process. Now, I know you all heard me talk about the last 40. You all know at the end of last year, 15 years later, we did prayer, salads, and squats where we fasted, we prayed for 40 days straight. We saw God for miraculous things that happened and different things. Y'all, that was just the beginning of the journey. Once I went through that journey, I had to go through a whole nother phase. And this is now come to be called the You Can method. The process was not easy. Changing was not easy. Dying to self was not easy. Letting go of what didn't belong to me, all of the bad, all of the not so good, it was not easy. But y'all, it was necessary because I would not be here today. I would not be the person you're listening to today. I would not be Nina Motivates. I would not be Dr. Nina Addison. None of the opportunities that came to me would have come to me if I stayed the old me. My God, that's a whole word by itself. I could drop the mic, okay? Um, and so I sat with God during the 40 days, right, of last year, and I'm like, God, let's revisit 2010. Let's revisit 2011. Let's look at the things that I had to go through, not just 2010 and 2011, but I am continuing because we're always growing, we're always learning, we're always developing, right? And so in that process, I had to look and see, oh my goodness, what changed and shifted in me to make me become the person I am today. Okay. Because sometimes we have some things about ourselves that we don't like. We got some things about ourselves that we just need to change and shift and all of the things. And sometimes it takes for us, yeah, you and me, sometimes it takes for us to really sit down and do the hard work. sometimes we have to sit and do the hard work, because when you do the hard work begins to work for you. If you do the hard work and you do it right, and you stay focused and you stay the course and you don't get all derailed, in the end, you will be happy you did it. Listen, y'all, I'm what, 2 months into going to the gym consistently. Okay, it's been like 2 to 3 times a week. This week I'm going 4 days. Oh my goodness. Okay, but I noticed the other day that when I was carrying, like I get up in the morning when my husband has to work, and I make him coffee. And the coffee cup, usually I like hold it with both hands, be very careful, like I could feel that it's not like really, really light, because I make them a nice big cup of coffee. And this week I was like, wait a minute, just the other day I was like, this seems super light. But it's because I've been consistently going to the gym. I've been working on my arms. I've been working on the different parts of my body. So it's been getting stronger. And I shared that with my brother. I was like, listen, I noticed that I'm getting stronger. My arms are getting stronger. Wow, I never anticipated that. And so it took for me to be consistent, dedicated, and to make some change, right? And as I did those things began to work for me. Let's get right into today, y'all, because we ain't even got into the nitty gritty. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm just telling y'all some stuff, and I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. But in order to become a better me, my most authentic self, and to live in my fullness, I had to go through some stages. And the stages that I went through, I call it a 5-step program. 5-step method, shall I say, not a program, okay? A 5-step method. And the first stage I had to go through was what I call break it. If you follow me on social media, you may have noticed that I've been talking about breaking it, letting go of the bad, declaring the good, and loosing different things that mean good, that doesn't serve you in the season that you're in or the season that you're going in. And so I have been encouraging people to break free from those things that no longer serve you, right? And so this was a phase that I went through. Things had to be broken off of my life in order for me to become the person that I am today, and the person that I'm continuing to become. And more importantly, the person that God desires for me to become. Because y'all, we're always a work in progress, and we may continue to see things that we need to break off of ourselves. But as we see them and identify them, we got to break them. When I think about breaking something, the first thing I think about is a plate or a cup, a glass. So I remember washing one of my favorite coffee mugs. And as I'm washing it, it just broke in my hand while I'm washing it. I was like, the devil, why would this mug break? I'm just washing it. I was literally just washing it, but when I broke it, I knew that I could not glue it back together. I knew I could not fix this broken mug, that I had to get rid of it. And so sometimes when you think about what it means to break something, it means to destroy it, to demolish it, to get rid of it, to break it into so many little pieces that you can't even put it back together, because you don't want to put it back together because it's not meaning you any good anyway. And so I want to ask a question. Can you think of anything in your life that you may say, hey, I got some stuff I want to break off of me as well. I'm going to show, for those who are watching on YouTube, this flyer, but I'm going to read it as well. In this break it. When you think of broken glass, oh my goodness. Who have anybody ever stepped on broken glass? Ooh, that don't feel good at all, right? You are doing all you can to get that glass out of your foot, right? And if you have broken glass around you, you're doing all you can to sweep it up. And nobody trying to put that broken glass back together. You're trying to sweep that up and get that stuff in the garbage. You mopping the floor. You're doing all the different things to get rid of it. So when you break things, whether it's old habits, failures, trauma, rejection, unhealthy relationships, being overlooked, old identities, fear, lies, limitations, doubt, hurt, all of these different things, just because it's a habit that you've had all the time doesn't mean it's a good habit. Some of us have some hurt and pain and feel like we've been overlooked. We've had some trauma and some rejection that we have yet to let go of. And some of us don't even realize that's why we sick. That's why we have different health conditions. That's why we have different things on us because we are sitting there with these things that mean us no good, but we don't know how to let it go. So we're just holding on to it and it doesn't serve us. It doesn't help us. It doesn't take us to our next. It's not being a blessing to us. Instead, it's hindering us, even failures. And I always say, if you don't succeed in something, you're going to learn from it no matter what. You're going to learn something from the things that may not have been as successful as you wanted it to be. Y'all, when I thought about this breaking it, I had to go back in my mind and think about some of the first times that I had built up some things that I didn't even know I built up. When I used to hide my arms before I started showing my arms as a little girl. And I had to break off the stigmatisms and being stared at and being talked about and being, it doesn't feel good when somebody looks at you and say, "Oh my God," and they run from you because they're afraid because you look different. That don't feel good. It doesn't feel good when people just stare at you and think that, man, something is wrong with that person. And so I used to hide my arms as a little girl. And then when I started letting my arms out, it was like, okay, now I gotta be free. I gotta keep them out now that they're out. But it was a process of me breaking free from believing what other people believed or said about me. I had to remove the labels of less than. Mm. I had to remove the labels of less than, y'all. And that was something. That was something. I had to relabel myself. Yep, I had to relabel myself because sometimes we carry on these labels instead of breaking these labels off of ourselves. We carry them. The lies that I wouldn't be able to do anything, the fear that something might hurt or it might be too hard, you know, limitations. A lot of us are in a box because we refuse to break free and break all of those things that mean us no good off of us. And so, what does it mean to break it? Let's go and talk about what it means to break it. When you break something, you letting it go. You're getting rid of it. You are putting yourself in a place where you say, no more will this control me. This will no longer be the factor that I hold on to. I forgive myself. I forgive those who have done wrong against me. And I'm walking in freedom. I'm breaking it. I am breaking it. I am identifying it. In order to break something, it first got to be in front of you. Oh, that's a word. Yep. In order to break something, you have to be confronted with it. You can't break a plate or a glass or a mirror or anything if it's not in front of you, right? If it's over there, then it's not in your space. But we're talking about breaking those negative things off of you that's in your life space, that's hindering you, that's blocking your eyes from seeing more, that's not helping you to believe more, that's not helping you to desire to build and become because you are holding on to these things that is not for you. The word of God is one of the things that freed me. I had some people to say some things to me to encourage me to help free me. Then the word of God freed me. And then, of course, a shift in my mindset and my belief in self for help free me. And that was just the beginning of it. It helped free me. Breaking it is the first part of becoming liberated and free. Yes, you demolish and you destroy some things that need to be destroyed. It need to be destroyed because you can't build on a foundation that is not solid. So if your foundation has a whole bunch of cracks in it, baby, we're going to have to start over. So breaking stuff, sometimes things have to be broken in order for some strong foundation to be laid. When houses are built, they first break up the ground so that they can build a strong foundation on that ground. Nobody wants a house that's going to fall, right? You don't want to live even in a building or anything. You don't want to walk into a building that ain't got a strong foundation. So breaking the things that mean you no good, identifying them first, and breaking them is the first step in you being able to be the person that God has called you to be. So for my process of breaking different things, y'all, I had to go through a process. I told y'all life is a process, okay? So identifying what is it that I needed to break? The limitations, the lies, the fear, the old habits. I had some personal habits. I was defensive. Why was I defensive? Because when you identify the things you need to break, you need to also identify where those things came from. Some of them, we have character flaws. Ooh, we stepping on toes. Mine, okay? We have character flaws that we need to address. Because when God corrects us, and we know the word of God tells us he corrects those he loves, he corrects us so that he can bless us, so that we could be in position to receive the good he has for us. My God. Y'all, I'm blessing me. If I'm not blessing you, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to need you to put some stuff in the comments and let me know if you're catching what I'm putting down. And if you're listening to this on I See You Radio, go on and grab the YouTube link and send it out to some folks too. Because we gonna have what we supposed to have in 2026 and beyond. Not just this year and beyond. See, I'm looking futuristic for us. Futuristic for us. I'm looking into the future, not just now, not just this moment. And a lot of us are in the same position we was in a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I feel it in my soul, y'all. God has been ministering to me about this thing. People want something different, but let me tell you, it ain't gonna change. If you keep doing the same thing, baby, you're gonna get the same results. You got to do something different. You got to believe in something different. You got to see something different. You have to, you must. Your future, your life, your goals depend upon it. And the first step is to identify and break those things that mean you know good, that is not beneficial to you. So if you can identify the things that you need to break off of you, you may have to go through a process of telling people you're sorry, of telling people what they did to you, and being willing to accept whether or not they apologize or feel remorse. Because just because you feel a certain way and you're releasing and you're changing and you're breaking those things off of you, don't mean the next person is. When I say this thing is real and it's a process and you gotta understand it, you gotta understand it. You gotta go through the motions. You gotta understand that everybody ain't gonna be where you are. Everybody ain't gonna believe how you believe. Everybody ain't gonna want what you want. And that's okay. Because you gotta desire a better life for you. Now, when you're going through the breaking process, you may cry. You may start to feel some type of way on the inside. You may even get angry because the breaking part of the process is also the grieving part of the process. Because as you breaking things, things die. When I got a beautiful plant and it was growing, and then a part of it started to die, and I noticed it was affecting like some of the other parts. So I had to cut off the dead so that the other parts can live. And when you cut stuff, when you think of even I even think about when I had surgery once. Like I had to go through a painful process through that surgery, but I had to have that surgery because it was something in me that didn't belong. But in order for me to live, I had to get it out. Oh, it had to come out. It had to come out. And I had to get help through the process, y'all. I had to get help through the process. I couldn't perform the surgery myself, one. And then after the surgery, I needed care. I needed people to help me go to the bathroom, wipe myself, like all of the different things. I needed help. And in your break it process, I always encourage people to get community is important. And a lot of times we want to do things alone, but God didn't create us to have to do things alone all the time. Some things He may tell you to do alone, but this is a process where I encourage people to get community, whether it's one person, whether it's multiple people, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a coach. Get somebody and don't try to do it alone. Because sometimes when we try to break things that, like, have you ever had something that's your favorite, but it's time to let it go? Ooh, I got a story for y'all. It's your favorite, but it's time to let it go. But you don't really want to let it go because it's your favorite, right? It's your favorite. I gotta let go of my favorite. Yeah, you gotta let go of your favorite. And it don't feel good all the time to let go of something that you love and that you're used to. But sometimes, again, it's necessary. I remember growing up, I used to love Miss Tweety Bird, y'all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Baby, I had Tweety Bird everything. I had Tweety Bird cups, Tweety Bird rugs, Tweety Bird sheets and covers and pillows and pillowcases. I even had my size Tweety. It was bigger than me. It was so big it had to sit on our love seat in our chair in our living room. And it could nobody fit in that chair with it. It was just that big. And when I went off to college, my parents got rid of all my Tweety Bird stuff. And I came home and I was like, what happened? I was so hurt. But at the same time, I knew they needed to make space for more. They was making space. That Tweety Bird was torn up too, y'all. Yeah. And I wouldn't throw it away. Tweety had holes in them. Tweety cotton was coming out, and I would not throw Tweety away. So they had to wait until my back was turned to throw Tweety away. And guess what? I lived. I still love my Tweety, but I lived. I lived, and I'm still living. I'm still living, right? Sometimes we need people to help us in our process. Sometimes we need somebody to confide in. Sometimes we need somebody to call on. Just sometimes, right? And it's okay. Because if we are honest, I know it's a lot of people that be like, I don't mind being alone. I could be alone forever. Woo. There comes a time where you want to be around some folks. You need somebody in your space. That's why prison uses confinement, isolation. I don't really know what they call isolation, as a punishment, as a severe punishment to their inmates. Lock them in a room all by themselves because we weren't created to be by ourselves. That's not how God designed us. And so because we're not created to be by ourselves, we are not created to do everything by ourselves. So that's by design, y'all. It's not just you, it's everybody. It's all of us. We all want some love, affection, some folks to be around us. All of us. That's normal, that's natural. Okay? So identify those things that you need to be broken. Those bad habits, those things that mindset. Oh my goodness, y'all. One of the things that I'm working on consistently, and I'm doing an okay job, but every day I desire to get better, is my eating habits. What I'm putting in my mouth. Now I'm going into a season of intermittent fasting and only allowing myself to eat between an 8-hour window and not to overindulge. And after a certain time, baby, it gotta get cut off. I can't have no more. I can't have no more. Nothing but some water with maybe some lemon in it or some tea. But we have to be disciplined. When you're breaking things, it comes with some discipline. It comes with some structure. It comes with some sacrifice. It comes with, as I was explaining, some grieving. You may be angry that you've went through certain things and you got to let go of certain things. You may go through the bargaining stage. Well, maybe I don't have to let this go, but if it's meant for you to let it go and you got to let it go for you to grow, you got to let it go. You may go through the phase of, of crying, but then you get to a point eventually out throughout the whole process that you accept the fact that you gotta change and you gotta let it go and you gotta break it off for you and you realize that you can do it. You can do it. One of the things I also think about, and this is the last point that I want to leave, and then I'm gonna make a couple announcements. Don't get out of here without these announcements. I had so many notes, y'all, but listen, so many notes. Um, but what can breaking things off of you that is making you sick, keeping you stagnant, not letting you live out your full potential, what could that do for you? It liberates you. It gives you freedom. It gives you permission. It grants you access. It removes scales. You feel free. You feel different. You feel loved. You feel kind to yourself. You feel like a weight is lifted off of you. We all know the song. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Dragging all them bags like that. Well, guess what? This is your opportunity to stop dragging all them bags like that. Oh, my goodness. So I pray that this was a blessing to you and that y'all never look at my notes, but I looked at some of them, right? But if you are ready to break free, if you are ready to get some things off of you are ready to say, you know what, I want to do something different. I want more. I want to break some stuff off of me. I invite you to join me on February 19th at 7 p.m. at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live for my live online workshop. Y'all, I used to do workshops and stuff all the time, and they were growing. Do you hear me? They were growing. And now I'm in a different space and I'm allowing myself to walk in the power and authority that God has given me to provide the services that will be a blessing to people. And so I want you to join me on February 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern, and 4 o'clock Pacific to Break It, the workshop. It's going to be a safe space, y'all. We're going to provide some coaching. We're going to go through some strategy. We're going to do some hands-on activity. You are going to get a supply list of things you need for this workshop. You're going to get a free workbook. You're going to get some pre-work, all of the things. Oh my goodness. When I say it is worth it, it is beyond worth it. You can have some breakthroughs. We're going to provide hope. We're going to do that foundational work. We're going to do the foundational work, y'all. This is not just coaching. This is activation. And so the question I have everybody asking themselves is, what do I need to break so I could finally move forward? There's so many people that's tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired of being stagnant, sick and tired of it all and ready for more. You know there's more. You know there's more. You don't even know why you're stuck. But at Break It, we're going to break through some things. And you're going to realize that you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be stuck. And y'all, this is just part one of a 5-step process. It is a small fee to attend. It is $44. I'm 44 years old, y'all. I don't know why I do that all the time, but it's $44. But I guarantee you're going to get way more than you bargained for. Way more. You're going to think you paid at least a minimal of that. Like workshops like this typically is like $97 minimal, and that's virtual, but this is $44, less than $50. You can do it. You want to do it. You want to be there, and it's limited spots, okay? Because I want to make sure that I'm able to give and to be present for those that need. Bring you a box of tissue. That's gonna be on the list, okay? But it's gonna be so powerful. It's gonna be a powerful 2 hours. It's a Thursday evening. Come on and join me. I want to just introduce this is the first time I'm publicly introducing the You Can Method 5-step process. Step number 1 is break it. Identify and challenge your limit. Step number 2 is to see it. Because once you break things off, you open up your eyes, scales are removed, and you're able to see a brighter future. You're able to see what you really can do. You're able to visualize more. You're able to visualize goals beyond the goals you've ever dreamed of. And then step number 2, you then begin to believe it. You begin to believe that you can, believe that you will, believe that it's for you. Your confidence and your self-worth shoots up. And then the work begins with building it. You begin to take action steps. You begin to move in that thing. And step 5 is become it, where you are able to live out your wildest dreams and live in your success. So break it, see it, believe it, build it, and become it. That is the 5-step You Can method. It is a process. And we take processes one step at a time. So I hope you all join me. On February 19th, you can go to linktr.ee/Nina Motivates, my website, and register. Register today. We do not want spots to fill up. People have been waiting on this workshop. I have been waiting on this workshop, and it's going to be good. Y'all like tuning in to my radio show. So this is going to be me on 500, okay? Me on 500 for 2 hours. Like, really, really not. You're going to leave that event like you have wings to fly. But you got to be in the room. You got to be in the room. All right, y'all. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for tuning in to the You Can Show. I got one more announcement, and then we're going to get on up out of here. Now, the You Can Show is 6 months old, y'all. We are growing. We are growing, and now there are sponsorship opportunities. If you would like to sponsor a show, I want you to head over to my link tree, linktr.ee/Nina Motivates, and sign up to be a You Can Show sponsor. You could sponsor 1 week or you could sponsor 2 weeks, an entire month, whatever you decide. To sponsor a show, we have an introductory rate right now as for $97. That's it. $97, and you become a sponsor for that week's show. And what do you get with it? Not only do your logos and things get shown on the flyers, also you get promoted on all of my social media, and you get a commercial on my show. So you get up to a 1-minute commercial. You can give me whatever it is you want me to say, however it is you want to promote me to promote you. And if you have a product and you get me a copy, give me your product, I also will make sure that your product is advertised properly on the You Can Show. So we are looking for sponsors. Go ahead and sign up and grab your week or weeks. Okay. And this is an introductory rate because I give all glory be to God that we are in the thousands of listeners, of viewers, we have over 10,000. I'm able to reach over 10,000 people at this time. And y'all, when I say it's growing daily, it's only God. It's only God. You never know. Your commercial could be the one that reached 100,000. I have some things that's reaching over 50,000 people. So I know what God is doing, and I'm inviting you in to get some of this goodness, okay? I want to thank you all for tuning in to the You Can Show. Y'all, come back every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for your weekly dose of fire, focus, faith, and whatever God gives me to give you. We got some great guests coming up, y'all. I'm so excited for my guests that's coming up. So you want to tune in next week. We're going to be talking about some things that help. Y'all know I'm all about building you all. I'm all about giving us the knowledge, and I'm all about proving to you that you absolutely can. I am Dr. Nina Addison. And until next week, I love you all, and I'll see you all later. Bye for now.